Hormonal regulation of the female reproductive system. The female reproductive system is regulated by a complex interplay of hormones that control the menstrual cycle, ovulation, pregnancy, and other aspects of reproductive health. These hormones are primarily produced by the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, ovaries, and other endocrine organs. The hormonal regulation of the female reproductive system is essential for maintaining reproductive function and fertility. Here is a breakdown of the key hormones involved in the regulation of the female reproductive system. First, hypothalamus, gonadotropin-releasing hormone, GnRH, role in the menstrual cycle. The hypothalamus plays a central role in the regulation of the menstrual cycle through the secretion of gonadotropin-releasing hormone, GnRH. GnRH stimulates the anterior pituitary gland to release two crucial hormones, luteinizing hormone, LH, and follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH.
2. Anterior pituitary gland, LH and FSH.
Follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH. FSH is produced by the anterior pituitary in response to GnRH. It plays a vital role in the follicular phase of the menstrual cycle. FSH stimulates the growth and maturation of ovarian follicles in the ovaries, encouraging one follicle to become dominant and mature, while others regress. FSH also stimulates the granulosa cells within the ovarian follicles to produce estrogen, luteinizing hormone, LH. LH is also secreted by the anterior pituitary, and its secretion is regulated by GnRH. A surge in LH levels triggers ovulation, which is the release of a mature egg from the dominant follicle in the ovary. After ovulation, LH supports the formation of the corpus luteum from the remnants of the ovulated follicle, which produces progesterone to support a potential pregnancy. Third, ovaries. Estrogen, progesterone, and inhibin. Estrogen. Estrogen is produced by the granulosa cells in the ovarian follicles and later by the corpus luteum after ovulation. It plays a key role in the follicular phase of the menstrual cycle, promoting the development of the endometrial lining, uterine lining, to prepare for implantation of a fertilized egg. Estrogen also regulates the release of GnRH and FSH, creating a feedback loop that controls the menstrual cycle. In pregnancy, placenta also produces estrogen to help maintain the uterine environment. Progesterone.
After ovulation, the corpus luteum secretes progesterone, which helps to maintain the thickened endometrial lining, making it receptive to a fertilized egg.
Progesterone also inhibits further ovulation by suppressing the release of GnRH and LH, preventing the maturation of additional follicles. If pregnancy occurs, the corpus luteum continues producing progesterone until the placenta takes over in the first trimester. Inhibin. Inhibin is produced by the granulosa cells in the ovaries and helps to inhibit the secretion of FSH from the anterior pituitary. This prevents the development of multiple follicles in a given menstrual cycle and helps to regulate the balance of hormones necessary for ovulation. Fourth, feedback mechanisms, positive and negative feedback loops. Negative feedback. Estrogen and progesterone exert negative feedback on the hypothalamus and anterior pituitary. High levels of estrogen during the follicular phase suppress the release of GnRH and FSH, thus preventing the stimulation of more follicles. Progesterone from the corpus luteum suppresses LH and FSH secretion to prevent further ovulation and support the uterine lining. Positive feedback. Near the time of ovulation, estrogen reaches a threshold level that triggers a positive feedback loop. High levels of estrogen stimulate the hypothalamus to release more GnRH, which in turn causes a surge in LH and FSH from the anterior pituitary. This surge in LH is critical for ovulation. Fifth role of other hormones in pregnancy. Human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG. HCG is produced by the placenta after implantation and is crucial in early pregnancy. It maintains the corpus luteum, which continues to produce progesterone to sustain the pregnancy until the placenta can produce sufficient hormones. HCG is the hormone detected in pregnancy tests. Relaxin. Relaxin is secreted by the ovaries and placenta during pregnancy. It helps relax the uterus and ligaments, preparing the body for labor by softening the cervix and relaxing the pelvic ligaments. It also inhibits uterine contractions in early pregnancy to prevent premature labor. 6. The menstrual cycle, phases, and hormonal regulation. The menstrual cycle is divided into 4 phases, each regulated by specific hormonal changes.
Menstrual phase, days 1 to 5.
The shedding of the endometrial lining occurs if fertilization has not happened. Estrogen and progesterone levels are low, which causes the endometrial lining to break down and be expelled. Follicular phase, days 1 to 13. The hypothalamus releases GnRH, stimulating the anterior pituitary to release FSH and LH. FSH promotes the growth of ovarian follicles and the production of estrogen. The rising estrogen levels stimulate the growth of the endometrial lining in preparation for potential implantation. Ovulation, day 14. A surge in LH triggered by high estrogen levels causes ovulation. The mature follicle releases an egg, which is then captured by the fimbriae of the fallopian tube for potential fertilization. Luteal phase, days 15 to 28. The ruptured follicle transforms into the corpus luteum, which secretes progesterone. Progesterone thickens the endometrial lining to support implantation. If fertilization does not occur, the corpus luteum degenerates and estrogen and progesterone levels drop, leading to the shedding of the uterine lining, menstruation. Summary of key hormones in female reproductive regulation. GnRH, gonadotropin-releasing hormone, stimulates the release of LH and FSH from the pituitary. FSH, follicle-stimulating hormone, stimulates ovarian follicle growth and estrogen production. LH, luteinizing hormone, triggers ovulation and supports corpus luteum function. Estrogen stimulates follicle maturation, endometrial growth, and regulates GnRH release. Progesterone maintains the endometrial lining and inhibits further ovulation. Inhibin inhibits FSH release to regulate follicle development. HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, maintains the corpus luteum in early pregnancy. Relaxin relaxes the uterine muscles and prepares the body for labor. In conclusion, the hormonal regulation of the female reproductive system is a delicate and intricate process involving the coordination of several hormones. This system ensures the proper functioning of the menstrual cycle, ovulation, pregnancy, and other reproductive events. Understanding the roles of hormones like GnRH, LH, FSH, estrogen, and progesterone is essential for the diagnosis and treatment of reproductive disorders.